His tenure began just after the turn of the century, this last century, but just before the release of the Lord of the Rings franchise. And about the only thing that's lasted longer than those movies has been the career of Boise Parks and Recreation Director Doug Holloway. Well, now, after another busy summer, his 25th with the agency, Doug is set to retire. Loyal viewers will recognize his name and his voice as he has helped share the stories, the upgrades, and the histories of Boise's 100-plus parks. Well, we're going to hear that voice and see that face one more time as Doug reflected on his quarter century with the City of Trees.
I started out in this business. So I started out as director of the Payette County Recreation District back in, and I'm going to date myself here, but 1983. And I actually got the job before I even graduated from college. The previous director had left in like February. I came home from college in May. I still had a semester left. And one day they called me into an office, three commissioners of this recreation district, and said, we want to hire you. I would tell anybody that would listen to me when I was 22 years old, I'm going to be the director of Boise Parks and Recreation someday. You know, and I made that not necessarily as a goal, I just said it because I met the director at a softball it was like a softball meeting in Caldwell. And I was just so enthralled by this guy. I thought he was a celebrity because he ran Boise Parks and Recreation. And I went back and I told my future wife and anybody else that would listen, like, hey, I want that job one of these days. In my 13 years as director, I mean, we've added 2 parks a year during my tenure, and we've been able to preserve over 2,000 acres of open space. And I don't even think about those things as they're occurring. It's after it's all done, then I see that and I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool that we were able to do those kinds of things. But it's not me that did it, it's a team that did it. You know, at some point, I will really look back on the impact we've had over the last 24 years and certainly over the last 13 years. And then I'll appreciate it probably a little bit more. But in the day-to-day grind, I really don't. You know, it's kind of like, that's our job, let's go on to the next thing, you know? And even though it's had some tremendous impact on the community, we're ready to move on to the next thing and do something else really cool for the community.
Do you have a favorite park? Or if I said, all right, Doug, we got a day, where are we going?
I would take you to Esther Simplot, and the reason why is that transformation of that aquatic complex, I refer to it as, is just so unique and amazing. There's nothing like it in the world, where you have, adjacent to the river, 2 in-river whitewater parks, surfing and kayaking parks inside the river. You've got Quinn's, which was transformed with a beach area that then has great synergy with ponds 1 and 2 of Esther Simplot. You got Friendship Island out in the middle of a pond. I mean, we just look at that complex and what it offers to the community, and it's swimmable ponds that we monitor for safety reasons. There's nothing like it in the world, from frontline to our leadership team to really make this a world-class system. And it also takes, you know, like, to throw a plug in for my wife. I mean, it takes a home life, certainly has a big impact on the success of your, you know, work life. And she's been a great supporter of everything I've done over the last 24 years with this department, and couldn't do it without her, and couldn't do it without my family's support as well. So it's been a lot of fun. It's going to be great to enjoy retirement. But I anticipate things continuing to go to the next level well after Doug Holloway's gone.
And Doug Holloway is still all business. He actually had about an hour-long conversation with me at the park this afternoon. We talked a lot about the future of Boise Parks and Rec, as well as some major upgrades that are ongoing and still to come in the Parks and Rec department. And Brian, we're going to have an extended interview and profile on the state of Boise Parks and Rec coming up this Sunday morning, 9 a.m. on our Viewpoint program. They're making significant progress on this pretty major goal of having a park walkable within 10 minutes of everyone's neighborhood in the City of Trees. If you look across the country, a goal like that is just not something that's put out there.
It's pretty awesome, yeah.
It's amazing. So we talk about some of the micro parks and some of the expansions. Another conversation I really love that we have on Sunday, the compare and contrast between pools and splash pads.
Oh, okay. Is that difficult to compare and contrast?
Yes,
I can see the difference.
There are benefits, and there are in the world of splash pads and pools. There's a lot to talk about.
Okay, well, I would agree with Doug on this. Once they figured out that circulation at Esther Simplot, it is one of the best parks in the city.
Not a bad place to surf either.
Exactly. All right, thanks, Joe.